depending on where you're tuning in from, to the second official game night for the New Year's Airdrop. I am Tassel, the community lead here at My Neighbor Alice, and today I have two very special guests, Attila from Game Design and George from TGV. Thanks again for joining me, guys.
Hey, thanks for having us again. Thanks so much. Excited to be
Thanks
here.
for having us.
Yes, this is definitely the highlight of working here at my M&A. I love running these events and everyone getting to see what's going on. So we have a really busy schedule today. Lots of stuff that we're going over and talking about. So I hope everyone can hear me okay. But I guess to start with, we should go over some of the announcements. So starting now on the game night leaderboard, there is a limited 12-hour task that you can claim, and claiming this task will give it you the ability to get a 10% reimbursement on any lands that you purchase on in M&A on the primary market. If you don't know exactly what that means, like what the primary market is, don't worry, I'm going to go over that in detail very soon as well. And if you're aware, if you were here during the first game night, it is cumulative. So if you claim the first one, you would get 10%, and then you would be able to claim this one and get another 10%, so 20%. And for the first 24 hours, also, we will be giving an additional 5% to anyone who buys land on the primary market. Just be aware, though, that this is not retrospective. It's from when you claim the task onward. So that's how that works. So just to recap, we have a 12-hour limited task. Right now, it is on the game night leaderboard because that's what we're about to do, is run a game night. Afterwards, it will be on the main airdrop for the remainder of that 12 hours. And if you claim it, it will whitelist your wallet, in which case you will get a 10% reimbursement on any land you buy in the primary market, 20% if you did the first one as well, and then an additional 5% if you buy within the next 24 hours. So, and feel free to, if you guys have any questions or want to know anything about it, I'm more than happy to answer any questions. In addition to that, though, we have an extra little kicker where if you purchase a land from when you claim the task until the end of the airdrop, we will be throwing in an Alice, one of our golden collection items worth 100 Alice as well. So really, really cool stuff, because we want you in part of the community. So I really hope that you guys take advantage of some of these. And even if you don't plan on it, it's probably a good idea to claim the task anyway. And then towards the end of the stream, just kind of giving you guys a little bit of an idea of how we're running it today, we will also be doing a raffle amongst the top 50 in the leaderboard, and where you will get one lucky player will get a golden lighthouse from our collection, and that is the one that's worth 500 Alice. So very exciting. We figured we'd do something at random. So within the top 50, still, so if maybe you're not the fastest, this course that we're offering tonight for game night might require a little bit of speed. So very exciting stuff there. All right, so talking about the leaderboard, that should be probably where we start, letting you guys know how to connect to it. I do apologize for all the veterans out there that are very aware of how this goes, but as there's new people joining all the time, we want to make sure everyone has an opportunity here. So it's just good to go over the information in as much detail as possible. So I'll go ahead and share my screen here so that you guys can see what I am talking about. Let me just add that. One moment. And I don't know about you guys, but are you guys enjoying like the airdrops and stuff?
Most definitely.
Yeah, definitely.
So I'm very distracted exploring the other people's lands while before we start. So
Yes. All right. So here is the leaderboard. Sorry, trying to get everything all. So if you go to myneighboralice.com, and I do recommend that anyone who is watching in on the stream actually follow along with us, because this is the best way for you to do it. If you go to myneighboralice.com/rewards, it will take you to where you can sign in here. And so what you want to do is you want to click, scroll down, click on sign in, and then you can sign in through your preferred method. That's like your social, your email, your preferred crypto wallet like MetaMask. We offer a lot of options just because we want to have everyone to be able to join. So, and when you click on it and sign in, you'll know that you've done it correctly, because in the bottom right-hand corner here where it says sign in, it'll have an account attached to it afterwards. It starts off as a kind of a numerical string of numbers and letters, but once you go through the first time user experience, so once you click play, I'll click off that. Once you click play up here in the upper right, and then you click play again, it'll take you through the first time experience, and you can create your avatar. At which case, once you name your avatar, it will no longer have that string at the bottom. It'll actually say your character name. And that's pretty much all there is to it, and to connect to the leaderboard. Once you do that, you'll be able to participate in tonight's game night. You'll be able to buy stuff on the marketplace, and you'll be able to participate with the overall airdrop in general. So talking about that, like if you want to take advantage of the land sales that we have going on right now and these cool opportunities, I will show you that as well. So as you can see in the upper right here, that there's a market. If you click on that, it will take you to our marketplace. And you can see here it's got lands, animals, items, and equipables. Let me do this. See what you want to do is buy a land off of the primary market. And this is where maybe some people get a little confused, so I figured I'd explain this a little bit. So if you click on the filters here, this will allow you to get a little bit more granular control. And you notice right here that it says primary. If you click on that, now it's only showing you land sold by my neighbor Alice. You could secondary market is when someone has a land that they decide to sell to anyone for whatever price they set. This is ones that are actually sold by us. So, and then you have some more control here too. You can change the chain that you buy it on. This more on this in a little bit. The water type and the quality of the soil and stuff. This is important because maybe you want to buy land that's next to your friends. Or if you want to, be able to control it. So let's say that you want to. We have land that goes from good to excellent, and then from excellent to legendary, and that's a numerical value between 1 and 2. So between, I think it's 1 to 1.69 is considered good land. From 1.7 to 1.89 is considered excellent. And then from 1.9 to 2 is considered legendary. So the quality of your land might be important to you, and you have control over it right here. If you want to buy a land, but you want the fertility of it to not be at the very bottom, but you maybe don't want it at legendary, you can kind of specify the range that you want it in, and it'll only show you those lands. So it's kind of important if you want to do that. Also, you might want to buy a land that's next to your friend. I know that when I like to create these things, that's kind of almost more important to me personally than buying a land that's the quality of the land. I want to be able to be next to neighbors, but that's just me. Maybe you're exactly the opposite. Maybe you don't want to be next to neighbors and you want to be secluded a little bit, and that's totally fine too. So if you click on a land, now you can see some of the details. The plot number. This is like your location, and then down here you can see the neighbors that are actually around you. So maybe you want to be in between these two players, and you're like, okay, that's the land I want. Now, when you click on buy, well, you have to sign in here, but if you click on buy, it would take you to the next screen to allow you to buy that land. As long as you have enough Alice in your wallet and B&B to cover the cost, you'll be able to buy the land right here on the marketplace. You guys have any questions for me or anything? I'm happy to answer anything if you guys have any questions, and you guys too, Attila and George. I'm happy to fill in if you think that there's more information that should be told. And you guys hear me okay?
Yes, Kevin, we can hear you.
Okay, perfect. Excellent.
Yeah, we hear you fine. I did have a
Okay.
question, right? So when someone wants to pick land, as you mentioned, so I've been looking to buy more land because I want
Okay.
more what's that called, resources, because one
Yeah.
land isn't enough. And there are 3 types, right? There is like sand, silt, and clay, for example, for sand, for the land
Yes.
itself. Does that have any variation on the resources that you get, or do you just get more if it's like a rarer land for the new guys like me?
That is a property that still has to be that we're developing to what those ones are for. So currently, I think that they're all the same, but that is I mean, I'm not part of the design team, so they might have a little bit more information on that. But yeah, that's still something that's being developed. But the quality of your land does have a bearing on the game. So if you see that the soil fertility here, If the higher your fertility levels of your land, the higher your chance of getting when you're tilling the land of getting a dark spot. And if you till the land and get a dark spot, you get additional yield on anything you plant in that spot. So
Mm.
that is something that a lot of players choose to. Is important to a lot of players if they want to get, if they're more of a farmer.
Right. So definitely for someone like myself, then having more would have more chances. Better rarity would also get more chances on that because obviously having more spots and having more yield on spots saves a lot of time, right? Because I've been exploring a bunch of land that they've been doing the landscaping feature, and I see
Yeah.
people grouping all the resources at one spot to be efficient, which makes sense. So I guess
Mhm.
that also adds to. So what happens if you like landscape the land? Like when you change the landscape, would the chances of getting that also increase, like the dark spots that you mentioned?
I don't think so. I
No.
think it is a random. Yeah, you can definitely answer that one, Stella, if you want.
No, landscaping, like we wanted to keep landscaping fully for creative mode. Like what it allows you is just to make your own land in the shape what you wanted. And because of this, we allow you to move resource nodes, like the resources which are on the land, make your fishing spots. Like if you want, you can make almost the whole land like a huge water. If you don't want to have a fishing spot, you can landscape it without water. Yeah, the landscaping feature usually is for creativity. Like our goal was to allow players to shape the land on their own.
I
Sorry
see.
about that.
So yeah,
Okay,
so then I have a follow-up question because it relates to land and gameplay, right? So if you
sure.
get neighboring land, so let's say you get like four plots side by side, and then they will kind of merge into one big plot, right? Based on the lines. And if you were to do the landscaping, could you pull all resources from four plots of land into one? Is that what
Mm.
some people are doing? Or
Uh,
it's divided by its individual plots when you do that because that's how they're moving the resource, right?
Yes, you cannot remove the resource nodes from the plot, and this is because, for example, everything happens on chain, and if you would allow moving plots from one resources from one plot to another, then it can happen that you move it to another, and then sell the plot, and there is no resources on it. Like what we wanted to keep,
Mm.
each land has its own property, but you have the freedom to actually landscape individual plots and arrange them. They are looking like they are all in place, but in that case you need to put it in a corner, like the common corner of those four plots, like all the resource nodes, if you want to be efficient or thing. But the resource nodes are attached to the land itself, and this is done because we wanted to keep it consistent, like that players cannot exploit the system by removing something and then selling the plot, and somebody who purchases remains without resources.
That being said, I
Great.
have seen some very interesting designs that people have used their resources for. Not just like artistically, although that's something that they do. They use them to amazing effect. I've seen mermaids and dragons and like parkour courses that are just and they I would never imagine that some people would use the items in the way that they do and so effectively. So it is really cool seeing how they use the items that they have. So with the resources, though, typically if you're trying to be efficient, they'll pool them all together on the very edges of both plots, and then they'll just collect them all in that one little area for the people that like to farm the most.
Wow. Okay. I mean, there's one more thing. I don't know if we can ask that now since we're on that subject, right? There's this green banner at the top, right, where it says that land is now available for purchase using in-game balance with no transaction fees and directly with card. So that seems to be a new development, right? For no transaction fees. I guess that has to do with giving people more opportunities, existing owners like myself, to easily get land, especially without gas fees. Is
Yeah,
that
it's
a
definitely
something?
something.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, no, just please. That
Oh,
was my
I was
question.
just going to say that it's definitely we're continuing to always continuing to build and to add new features. and that is definitely something that has been a request and something that we've wanted to accommodate. I don't know its level of functionality right at this moment. I haven't got a chance to play around with it because it's very new on the site. But it's definitely, as you can see the green banner there, it's something that we want to offer to players, because the more options and like you say, no gas fees, and the ability to bring people into the ecosystem is so important to us. These are, look at all the neighbors that we have here. I mean, these are all people playing and wanting to be together. So I think it's really important.
Right, that's exciting. I mean, still developing and being bullish in this market is great. So I'm happy to see that.
Yeah. All right, so I will. I just want to give some information to everyone. So this is the fun part, or the most fun part of the stream. This is where we actually do the game night. Uh, we are giving away 2,500 Alice to the top 50 places on the leaderboard, and this time we are doing a parkour course. Please, guys, if any of you guys have somehow managed to find it or early or anything like that, please be kind to your neighbor. Don't go there and claim the task. We're going to get all the information from the blockchain, and it's got timestamp. So we don't want to disqualify anyone. Just everyone start on the same time. But before we do that, I also wanted to give some people some information on some basics in the game so that they know how to achieve these tasks. This will be one where there is a fishing and singing, but the main task on this one is going to be the singing. That's the one where we have, or sorry, the fishing. That's where we have the multiple fishing places and across these plots. This is a quad plot, so someone, one of our amazing neighbors put this together, spent months putting it, creating it, and they were nice enough to share it with us. So, and I'm real excited about it. So, first things first, you'll need to know how to use your map. If you push M, you'll notice that your map pops up, and this is all the locations that you can go to, both the lands that you own, and then also, as soon as it's unloading here, I have a few lands here, so it takes a little bit. Then your pin land. So these are any lands that you've been to that you want to go back to. You can pin a land and say, oh, I'm going to go back there. This neighbor has a really cool design that I want to copy. I'm not saying I do that, but I do. And then at the very bottom, we have the special lands like the Pudgy and L. And at the very, very bottom, we have the town hubs. This is where you'll find a bunch of quests, blueprints to any of the items that, or to many of the items that you find in the game. Just a lot of really cool stuff. So this is how you travel around currently. So if you click on a plot, for instance, you'll see that it pops up, and now you can pin it if you want to go back there. You don't need to do that for a town hub because they're already pinned for you, or you can travel to it. Since this task requires both quite a bit of fishing, I want to also highlight here that you can get bait from Ivan right here in town. So if you follow me, and you don't have to, you can just watch on stream if that's your preferred method, you'll need at least a minimum of 5 baits to complete each of the tasks for this for game night tonight. So if you talk to Ivan, interact with him with E, open up the shop, you'll notice that in the shop it has some basic tier 1 items that you can buy. So your tier 1 tools. If you're still with the first time user experience, you may have to unlock some of this. I'm not 100% sure, but typically you can buy it from here. You can see that there's bait. This is really useful for fishing, which is one of the tasks that we have. And then you also have the flute for singing, and then the fishing rod for fishing as well. So just a little pro tip for anyone who is maybe short on bait or fishing rods or anything else. Next up.
One sec. If you have a fresh account, you already received 10 baits and a fishing rod. Like, you should be set up for this run if you didn't use it already.
Oh, excellent. Yes. So if you're going through your first time user experience, create a character, we give you 10 baits to start with. So plenty of bait to, just don't, spam them all on the first plot. Make sure that you follow the rules. All right, and another, since this is parkour, I feel like this is a really important lesson here, is how to use your glider. If you are in the air and moving forward and you press and hold your space bar, you will open up your glider. Over here at the drums here, just right here in Lumenstead, these ones are kind of special bouncing drums here that you can jump on. You can either spam your space bar so that you can bounce higher and higher, or you can time it so that when you're at the very bottom, it'll knock you up even higher. So if you move forward, push spacebar, you'll notice I just opened up my glider. This will allow you to get to far away places, which it might be very helpful in a parkour course. All the way, by the way, I didn't have to be up that high. As long as you're moving forward and you press the spacebar while you're moving forward in air, it will deploy. So just like that. All right. And then the last one is singing and fishing. In order to do this, I feel like it's just best for me to take you to my plot so that I can show people how to do it. Remember though, guys, don't use up too many of your baits if this is your first time in here. So you press M for map. You come to my plot. I'll go ahead and link it in the chat, the game chat here, so everyone can just click on the chat itself. It's at 500-4490, but you don't have to type that in. You can, but I'll link it here in the chat. You can see it there. Now when I push enter and I can access my mouse, all I have to do is click on that link and it'll open up my the location of my plot, and then I can travel to it. So why don't you guys all join me on my plot? So yes, and what we're doing here is I want to demonstrate both fishing and singing. So since these are two of the most common things that we use in our game nights, they're the tasks that we like to use to kind of separate people on the leaderboard. Don't be intimidated by my plot. I just have stuff everywhere. Sorry if it's a little cluttered.
Wow, that's a hell of a plot, man.
No, thank you, thank you.
Wow.
So in order to use any of your tools, actually, you'll need to hit your action wheel, and that is just by pushing R, and that'll open up your action wheel. You can use things like the watering can to water your plants, or your pickaxe to collect your nodes, or in this case, fishing. So on the top here, if you click on mouse over it and left click it, you will see that now it's over my shoulder. So I've equipped the fishing pole or the fishing rod. Now when I mouse over the water, I'll just move over to here where it's a little less crowded. You can see that there's a little green indicator that I can fish there. So when I left click, I'll put the bobber in the water. Now what I'm waiting for is a yellow exclamation point to pop up, and I'll just left click and hold and then follow the fish with my mouse. So little exclamation point will pop up any second. There it is. I'm left clicking and holding right now. And you see if I'm not on him, see how it goes down? So I actually have to be over him and follow him with the blue part there. And then we just wait for the fish to appear in our inventory. Sometimes, that time it's a spiny eel. It's in the bottom right-hand corner for anyone who's looking. I have a bunch of bait, but don't feel like you have to use all of your bait here, guys. So just one last demonstration. Push R for your action wheel. Click on the rod in the top of the circle. Left click, and then left click on a spot of water that's free. Wait for the yellow exclamation point to pop up, and then left click and hold, and then follow the fish with your mouse, like I'm doing right now. I'm holding down the left click and following. That's all there is to it. At that time, I caught a tire. And then the other task that we'll be doing is singing. This is actually only for a couple people. This is what we've used to separate out the leaderboard. But just in case you happen to be in that top position, the flute is in the bottom left here. You left click on it, and then when you get over to a plant that has no music symbol, see this plant right here? How it has no music symbol above it. I know that means it still needs to be sung to, and all you have to do is just left click, and you will sing to that plant. You'll notice that there'll be a yellow ring that goes around to indicate your progress. This is my plot, so it doesn't work on my own plot. This is a social feature that we have, where we want you to come onto your neighbor's plot and sing to their plants, because they get additional bait and yield from their plants. So it doesn't allow you. That looks like someone sung to my plant, so really cool. And that is basically all there is to it. Those are the three tasks. So remember, jumping is with the space bar. Moving forward and holding space bar makes you glide. R for your action wheel. And that is the core of the mechanics. All right, I'm going to go ahead and share in our Discord the location, and I'll also say it here at the same time. Don't worry, you guys will be locked into a place, and I'll let you guys out as soon as everyone arrives. But the location is 308 I'm also going to share that in the chat so that everyone can get to it easy. 308 6087. Share. Sorry, the search. And then I will go ahead and share it in chat. And then just hit enter and then left click on that location and then just travel to the plot. While it's loading, I will go ahead and I'll go ahead and share this on Discord as well. Just one moment. There we go.
Hmm.
So yes, so this is Juvenez's plot. This is the creator of this absolutely amazing thing. I just created this little starting area so that I could kind of control where people zone in. But other than that, this is the location. Please go ahead and fish one time on this plot as well. There is a task to complete on the leaderboard, so this is the first one that you'll need to do. So if you want to, this is the freebie that we're offering. You'll notice there's water here. It's a great opportunity to go ahead and get the first one done. And the rules for this one are simple. This is a parkour course where you're trying to get to the end, and there is a podium at the end of the course. And what you want to do is you want to fish in each zone of this. So like I said, this is a very large course where there is 4 separate sections. And you will notice that you'll be going, when there's like a white line kind of dividing, you can see where one plot ends. Just make sure that when you fish on that next plot, that you claim that next task. And then there is actually 3 plants at the very top at the podium, and those ones will be for the 3 fastest players that can make it up to those plants. So once you sing to a plant, only that one person can sing to it. So that's why I say only the 3 fastest players. Not everyone will be able to claim those. And that's really all there is to it, guys. I'm going to go ahead and open it up unless you, George, or Tilla have any questions.
One
Uh,
second, I want to check because I could not claim the task for some reason.
Okay. Yes, if you couldn't claim the
Uh,
task, I'll wait to open it up to make sure that this is.
is anybody else having this issue?
Let me check in the comments. Do we have any comments on? Is anyone else having a hard time claiming
Yes,
the task?
it seems can't claim, and nobody can claim it. Just a quick second to double check.
No problem. Little technical difficulty, guys. No worries. If it doesn't happen to where this task is claimable, hopefully the rest of them will be, and you'll still climb up the leaderboard like you would. It just everyone will be without this one to claim. This was just supposed to be the easy freebie one to claim anyway. So we won't hold up the stream too long, but let's give Attila some time to see if he can fix it. I guess it might be a good opportunity, George, to talk to you since you have like a wealth of knowledge in the blockchain space. What is
Thank
that
you.
you see? Like, why do you think that this is a good time for like people maybe who haven't been involved in blockchain game to maybe get in now?
Well, I think the benefit of being in a current market where people are bearish about blockchain in general is, and for those of us who've been in the space for a very long time, is that the entry is very much lower, right?
Yeah,
And having been involved in blockchain spaces in like for the longest time, blockchain games specifically,
yeah,
it's usually actually this is the part where most people have the most opportunity, right? The entry is low, it's not complicated, everyone can participate, the prices are really good, and also you will be working with, in this current market, whoever who's still active is usually the ones that have a strong, how should I call that, potential for massive growth when the market recovers, right? That's
yeah,
something that I think is very important, to support the good games that is doing, what's that called, a lot of effort to build a good game, maintain a good community, and continuously producing new features in this current market is a sign of a game that can do well when the market does improve. So that's kind of why I thought when I'm asked about the no transaction fee, it's not something that many people would think about doing in this current point in time in the market, right? But that also shows the team is actively working on improvements and giving more accessibility to players, right? And I guess land has never been cheaper, you know. That's why I'm trying to accumulate as much as I can in this
Yeah,
period of time as well. And I'm constantly trying to get more Alice. And I know this is gonna sound wrong to many people, but the cheaper it is, the better it is for me as a gamer, right? Because
definitely.
I can accumulate much more land and I can farm more resources. Because I think the difference is I'm a solo player. I'm not very social in game. And for me, I don't trade a lot as well, so I have to rely a lot on my own effort to farm, which is what I enjoy. So having more land and even the trial land, I've been using the trial land as an extra resource land, right? I'm just taking resources from it and using it for my mainland. I think that's those are the little things that I think is interesting, which is and I'm now trying to hedge my bets. I'm going to try and get a land for each type of soil and water, so when things change and there's actually differences in them, I'm set, so that to me is where it's a good time, because now it's a very easy way for you to gain accessibility to all these things and prepare yourself when the game improves.
Definitely. Yeah, and honestly, that's what I did first too. Is I started collecting one of each different type and trying to because honestly, like sometimes you want to build something and you don't know what you want to build until you're kind of doing it. I remember that original plot, the one that you just came from, where I demoed how to fish and sing. That was kind of like my storage plot, and then I started adding to it, and all of a sudden it wasn't storage; it was something that I was actively building, and you never know how something's going to shape. And like for like you were saying though, like it's a great opportunity when everything's so down, because that, like you said, that's never been cheaper. So this is, and I don't know if it was this last stream or the one before, but I talked about how one thing that I really appreciate about my neighbor Alice and the team and just the project in general is that we just keep building. It's just a constant. You can see the features rolling out. You can see that there's, and we get hit a bump here and there, just like everyone does, but we keep making a positive growth, and I just feel like that's a really strong representation of what my neighbor Alice is as an idea in general.
Yeah, definitely. I think that right now is the best time for companies to build, and it's also the most important time for communities to support, and it's also the cheapest time to support the team, if you think about it, right? So if you haven't picked up the land yet, I think they're doing a lot of work in My Neighbor Alice, giving that extra rebate to try out these new features as well. I think that's great, and I'm actually looking forward to seeing the result from this session today. And I've been exploring people's builds. So if you have an interesting build and you want me to check it out as well, because I'm in game, please do put it into the chat. I'll look through, and then maybe I can really experience some of the interesting builds that people have. I think the more land you have, the more builds you can actually do. I am curious, if you combine 4 plots, can you build one giant landscape with like 4 plots? Resources aside, I think Attila, maybe can you give some like
Yeah,
flavor?
sorry, I was out. I think everybody should try to claim it. It should work. Manage to fix it, the task.
Oh,
Like,
you're the man, Attila. Thank you so much. Can somebody from the community please check and see if they can claim the task and either say it in game or on the stream? Because I want to open this up so we can all get started, because I know everyone's probably dying to see what this is all about.
I think yes, it's 46 players already claimed it.
Oh, excellent. You can see that. Okay, perfect. All right. Well, without further ado, then let's get this going. Good luck, everyone. I can't wait to see how you do. I'm going to take a bird's eye view, and yeah, let's get going. I will just go ahead and release the 2 sets of barricades. And good luck. And they're off.
Yep, I'm going to claim as well.
Excellent. I'm going to go ahead and just. So a pro tip for you, you neighbors, just because I know that everyone's, kind of, some people are learning. If you push K for camera, it'll bring you into camera mode, and then what you can do is with the WASD keys, you can actually move around and see what's going on. So if for some reason, this is the plot, by the way, I'll just hide that for a moment. You can see that this is four of them stuck together in this absolutely beautiful build. But yes, so if you push, let's go back out, push K, it'll go into camera mode, and then you can push V to toggle some of your settings, and then push V again so you can go in mouse mode, and then F7 actually will hide everything. Probably don't want to do that if you're running the course, but just so you can understand what's going on. And there is definitely people off to the races. Let me get down here and see what's going on. You got, I mean, this is my favorite part, is just seeing. And what about for you, Attila? I'm just curious. Like, I know that you specifically, have worked with the landscaping feature and seen it grow and evolve over time. How does this? What does it feel like seeing how people use this to this effect?
Okay, I tried to answer two questions, like also George question regarding building something huge in four plots. Like
Please.
one of the things which when we were developing landscaping, I started to do the same thing to build something large, and I started with the four plots, and we created a humongous Stonehenge uh, with on a corner using all the resource nodes, and one of like regarding the landscaping feature and like what players can do, I think uh, we had some ideas and we checked out like some of the early prods, but the community came up with a lot of different use cases for the landscaping. Like some people actually not just use the 3D space as an art, they are using the minimap because we are, if you check out on the map, we are showing the map in 2D, and you can zoom in the landscaping to that specific plot. Some people use that as a pixel art thing to create a different. We had Mario, so like we had different types of patterns and so on. One of our OGs, for example, he created a course of 10 puzzles, and one of them was a QR code embedded in the landscaping, which you could only see if you checked out the map. And it was really, really interesting because he by himself he purchased he has a ton of lands, and he modified 10 of them with different types of challenges. There was one where you needed to realize that is a QR code. You had to scan the map of the QR code with your phone. You got the next plot ID where you could go. On that plot ID was a pattern of like he put down different resources, and then there was some patterns regarding like how many charges the node has. Then you have to calculate the number of charges and put together, and that gives you the next plot. Like there are so many different ways of using it.
Landscaping is
Oh,
something I definitely want to get in, and but I think I really wanted to highlight this feature that that Tassel is showing, where you can do the camera and see in a multiplayer. I think a lot of people don't realize that this is a feature that many games don't actually have, and this is something that allows people to be a very good spectator. So spectator view in a way for multiplayer is actually very uncommon. So I actually didn't know this existed until today. So hats off to the team for having this. It's a minor yet, it's so fun. I'm watching the stream on my side monitor here, and I can see what's happening. It's on from a bird's eye view. That's really cool.
Isn't it really awesome? Yeah, like I think Kinsey is in first place here. If I were to, I don't think there's anyone ahead of him or her at the
Wow,
moment.
he's doing really
It's
well.
really,
He or
really cool.
she.
Like,
Yeah.
yeah, just moving through this course. You can tell that, like me, I'm actually pretty decent at platforming. Not the best, but pretty good. And but some people are really really good. I actually remember one
Oh
time I
wow.
created.
Oh, fell.
That's okay. He's got some trampolines here, and we don't have anyone at the end yet, do we? Let me kind of just. Nope. Still moving through it. Everyone's doing
So they had
excellent,
the
though. I'm going to
fish
go
at
back.
they had a fish at every zone, right? And he
Every
did that.
zone, yeah. So that's and I
Wow.
also posted this on there. So this was cut up into 4 zones, and starting over here on the plot that I set up, and basically, sorry, trying to get this looking there. So every single zone here, they only have to fish one time in each one, but that'll raise them up in the leaderboard, and then whoever makes it to the end, there's also a plant to sing to. Those three, like one for each, first, second, third, like on the podium. But we're rewarding the top 50 players. So we're obviously the most reward is for the top players, and then it scales down all the way down to where in the 50. And don't forget, towards the end of the stream, we will be doing a raffle where everyone has equal chance of getting the lighthouse in that top 50 position.
I think there was a question for Attila, right?
Yes, there was a question from Vitaly regarding it. Do we plan to have a housing system? This is something which we are actively investigating. I don't want to spoil more, but we are actively investigating the possibility to have houses and things which you can build and put your placeables inside.
Well, if I had a wish list, I'm hoping we can have like a collectible museum kind of thing because I'm a hoarder slash collector of things. So, and I'm very jealous of Tassel's complete gold gear, right? But you don't always want to wear the same gear, right? So if we have like a museum where you can show off complete gear, that would be cool. I would love to see that. I
All
don't
right.
represent the company on this, okay? So this is not a promise. It's just a wish list from me.
Don't go too far away, guys. If you're developer, and I just want to let you guys know if you're on stream that you need to sing to these plants here. So if you made it all the way to the end,
Oh,
it won't count unless you actually sing to these 3 plants that are listed right here at the end. So you might want to come back if you haven't. We've got developer.
somebody
Use your
already.
flute there, developer. Hello. You're waving at me. Have you used your flute there?
Yes, he used it.
Oh, excellent. It's really cool seeing, and we got Old Master. Old Master has definitely won his fair share of competitions here, so I'm not surprised to see him uh, at the end right here as well. I don't know who has claimed their task, but looks like there was another one. Looks like Old Master is placed as well. At least if I'm to. Really, really cool. It's funny too, like seeing how people use their plots to different effect. So obviously, this one has a lot of items that you select. So every single piece of grass here is an item that this person has created or purchased off the market or was given to by a neighbor. And if you look here, there is, I mean, I would hate to guess how many, but thousands, I'm guessing, of items that they've collected over the period. So this doesn't surprise me at all that this has taken months to create. I want to come out of here just for a moment. You were mentioning the my gold gear. This is a great time to show it off since we are giving away a gold item to one player in the top 50 as well. So as you can see, I am rocking the gold hat, chest, and legs here. And yeah, I absolutely love it. I like your idea though, like of having some way to either display or to hoard it, because I mean that is kind of what a vanity item is for. Like you want to be able to show it off, but right now you can show it off to one player. We get ideas and suggestions given out to us all the time that I personally go through on our Discord ideas and suggestions page, and I share this with the team. So if you're interested in an idea, I can't guarantee that it'll make it into the game, but I can guarantee that the team will see it. So that is a great official way for you guys to be able to do that. I just figured I'd go through from a first from behind third person view here where you can see me running through. So you can kind of get an idea of what's going on. Like, look at this is a plant that they've grown, up here and spent some time on it. All these items. Oops, a little lag spike there. You got different people that are in different sections. Here's Jumanez. This is the person who created this course. I should let me see. I should offer him flowers. Here we go. That makes sense, right?
I'm actually right behind you.
Oh, nice.
That's me.
For you, I'll sing too.
Ah,
By the way, if for new players who are maybe not aware of how I'm doing this, we offer emotes. So if you push Q after you've unlocked the quest, because there is an unlocking process, you push Q and it opens up our emote wheel, and there's multiple pages of them that you can unlock. And you can see that there's a lot of variety. The art team here has absolutely killed it. These are so beautiful. I love the Pudgy Penguin one because the dance is just awesome. And you got Juma is doing a hula dance over there right next to me.
I
Um,
wanted to point out, right? The emotes. I don't know if people notice, but the movements is actually very refined for a game like this. It's very easy to cop out the animations, this minor details. Like if you were to do any of the dances or even the thumbs up, the level of detail of how smooth it is looks like it had went through like a human animator. It's that smooth. So I actually never played around with the emotes until you showed it, but that is really quite a testament to game design, right? I mean, Attila and your team, you guys, I just noticed it because I'm on a big screen right now, and I'm like, oh, that's actually very very refined. I don't think people have pointed that out very much for you guys. I think that's great. It's amazing,
yeah,
actually.
and I can testify I've seen how dedicated and passionate the art team are about making every single thing line up and making sure it's in its best way. For anytime that you guys are frustrated with a feature that maybe is not working correctly or something like that, we have an equally dedicated and upset dev that is their whole goal is to get it fixed for you guys. So but yes, I completely agree. So if you push Q, open it up. This is one of my favorite ones. This is the break dance. I think this one is amazing. Check this out.
Yeah, I mean, it's honestly, it's so detailed for such a small like character on screen, right? And I think that's something. Even like coffee drinking that Jumine's just put up, which is really really good. That's amazing, to be really honest. I wish I had more emotes. I realized that I was looking at the quests. I'll be very honest. Some of the quests allows you to earn emotes. I was always
Oh,
wondering whether it was worth the effort, but after seeing it, I think it is worth the effort to do the quest for some of the free emotes that you can earn in game.
100% agree. I think that it's absolutely beautiful the way that they interact with each other. And I've seen rap battles where a bunch of neighbors get together and they've created. We have a dance floor in the game, and they'll get together and they'll rap off, and there'll be another person dancing. I've seen community created events where it has nothing to do with me. I didn't. They've got together and they've decided to do giveaways based on. They'll create some. It might just be arbitrary, like, but the criteria, but it's just getting together, and the sense of community here is just unbelievable. So it's really cool. Every single thing, and we also added emotes as or emojis, sorry, recently to just so people can be a little bit more expressive. Like, hey, I need can someone please water my plant, and you put a couple watering things out, and everyone knows what that means. Not everyone's comfortable with chatting and giving a bunch of being vocal and being so they just want their plants watered, and that's okay.
Yeah, I've seen a bunch of land where they actually design so that when you look it from a top view, it's just their name, and then it's like they signed off the land. I think that's also really really cool.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I've seen some really interesting designs. I've seen some and the items in the game are like a obviously they're designed to be pretty and to look nice on your land, but the way that they're used, how people express themselves with it, that is something that is just like out of this world from my neighbor Alice. We with everyone expresses themselves differently, and that's one of the things why we have so many items, because we want to give people the ability to express themselves in a way that feels right for them. That's why this land is and here in Shaded Headlands is got these this beautiful like purpley hue. But if you go to another land like Gloomy Gulch, it's kind of darker, or Tinsel Falls is snowy. The more options that you have, the better that you can express yourself, and the more that you're likely to to come back. I just see people just chatting here for hours sometimes, and that's because that's what they want to do. And other times people build things like this. I mean, it speaks for itself, in my opinion.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Oh,
I'm trying to explore the view you're doing as well right now. This is
oh,
really
nice.
cool. The whole bird's eye view thing. It's amazing, actually.
And that's a feature that was more of a kind of a little bit more of a developer feature, to my understanding. You can correct me if I'm wrong here, Tilla.
Eh,
And so it had like the F keys that you use just solely to get them. And then once enough players started saying, hey, this is a great feature. Can you please add this? And can you make it easier, quicker to access? That was something I immediately brought up with the team and said, hey, the people like this. It's already there. It makes perfect sense to give them the opportunity, to give us the opportunity to use these features.
Now I'm
exactly.
thinking to myself, like Attila, what's like the most requested feature for like landscaping? We've heard someone talk about trying to build houses so that people can go in, which I think is a great idea. But is there like something that I'm not saying you're committing to build it, but you wish that would be
Uh,
included in game?
the interesting part, like we when we released first time the landscaping, it had like you had to manually a lot of things and build it by yourself. And then we did a second iteration when we provided tools for the players to actually manipulate. Like you can create stairs now, and you can shape it like. And most of those requests were community driven. Like community members suggested that, oh, I want to be the pyramid and I need to be the stairs, and for the stairs in order to work and then we added the stairs. Then they realized, oh, I want another functionality to flatten out just an area, and I think when we released the second major uh, iteration of landscaping, 80% of the input was community driven. And there are still new requests regarding this, like uh, easier way. Like currently, I think there was many times requested that currently you cannot landscape under a placeable, or whenever you have something placed, those tiles cannot be manipulated, and a lot of players are requesting, for example, the opportunity to actually be able to landscape without moving all the placeables. Like that's a really frequent request.
As an avid player myself too, because I mean, I play a lot. There's a reason I'm in the 300 levels. It's not just it's a very passionate project for me as well. I love just being here and seeing everything change and become just it's amazing. But one of the things that I would like to see, just if it ever were to come, is maybe some type of copy paste feature eventually. I don't know how difficult that is, and I definitely am not in a position to make any promises. But I would love to have an area where I can be like, you know what, I'm really proud of this section of my land, but I don't want to have to rebuild this entire thing because it took me so long to figure out how to do. How can I that would be like, there's a lot of features that I would love to see over time, but that's like the number one for me personally.
That's a
But there's
really
sorry, I just wanted to say that's actually a double-edged sword, because in metaverses, what happens is you end up having people just duplicating the same thing across 100 plots of land. That also makes things really boring in a way. So I just want to add that in. But I can understand where you're coming from, but at the same time, you will get more people who's just like, I'm going to make 100 of the same square block or image from 2D view or something, and that's going to fill up the whole map, right? But that's my view. Sorry, Attila, go ahead.
uh, I I agree with Tessa. Like I would like that feature also. Like once I build a medieval castle, and I wanted to add the meticulations, the small details like the small towers to the edge of the castle, and it took me like 7 hours to just add that single details. And I would be really happy that I made the tower, and just if it would be really useful to just copy a piece of that tower and just place it somewhere else. But uh, yeah, I also see your point of like it makes it much more uh, like repetitive in some cases. Like if, but I think giving the tools for the players is it's good. Like let the creativity. Uh, Give them the tools and let them be creative in how they are solving and what they
You
are
know,
building.
and I weigh in a little bit on that. I think that also that you can create creative like ways of having it so that maybe you have it where it requires a lot of resources to do. So you have to do a resource thing. So creating a bunch of them just across would be a monumental effort, or maybe it would cost something or something like that. So I feel like there are creative ways to have it where it's like, you know what, this took me a long time. I don't even mind giving up 50 Reef Tin because that's I'd rather give up 50 Reef Tin than rebuild this whole thing.
Hmm. That's true, I suppose. But yeah, I mean, I'm just speaking from my own bias experience, right? And there is a copy feature that tends to happen, but I guess, it's great that people are engaging with their land. I think one of the things that I would probably love more in the long run is probably having templates that real absolute beginners, like I'm terrible at landscaping. So when I see someone does something amazing with the land, I'm genuinely impressed. I'm not wowing for camera's sake. I'm like, oh, okay, I wow because I can't do that. I think that's a really important thing, right? So having like a template or like maybe with an IP, maybe even just like a community member wants to share their design out, then new guys like me can build it like immediately. That'll be cool. I know that's not something easily done. So for those of you who think that kind of development is not easy, I'm very sure Attila can testify to that, but that would be great. Like eventually when we if as the game develops, if that can happen, that would be cool. I think it might even be interesting if very interesting designers can sell templates, like
Yeah,
as a way to monetize, right? That would be, I would pay. I'm a buyer. I always tell people I'm the liquidity provider. Sell to me because I buy stuff and Tassel as well as
Yeah,
you.
yeah, yeah. I'd if I could buy resources from a player versus going out there, like I'll do it if there's none available. But if I can buy resources for a reasonable price, I will definitely buy resources to make things I want. I like providing liquidity and helping the community because it helps me. It doesn't bother me going in there and buying a bunch of stairs from a player if that's what I need. I'm not just going to buy nothing, but if, for no reason. But if I need it, of course. Uh,
regarding the template feature, that's something which we investigated. Just we still need to figure out some details and how to make it uh, uh, flexible enough that you can import export. But that was something which we investigated, and probably we'll look into this more in the future.
Wow, I mean, I'll be really happy to see if anyone can create something like super interesting, and I would definitely be one of the buyers for sure. I guess I hope you guys investigate more. That's what I can say right now.
I just want to quickly let everyone know because we've been on for about an hour now, and I know that different people join the stream at different times. That if you missed it, that we have a special task on our game night leaderboard. It's a 12-hour limited task. Well, might be 11 hours now because it started an hour ago, and it will also be on the main airdrop, in which you can, if you claim it, you will get 10% rebate or to reimburse to for any land that you buy on the primary market from that time from when you claim it on. It is cumulative with the last one. So if you claim that one, which was also 10%, you can get 20% back. and then also a 5% additional if you purchase a land within the next 24 hours. Just as a little, just figured I'd let you know in case you guys weren't aware and you joined the stream late. Also, like I said, it's a 12-hour limited task. So if you're watching this stream the following day, but before that 12-hour time frame, you still have time to claim that task, and I just want everyone to know. So,
Yeah, I
yeah.
wanted to add that just to add on to that, the rebates are for any rarity, right? So because it's based on percentage. So if you're getting a higher rarity, you should be getting back more for that as well, which I think is really interesting. So if you haven't
So
already, yeah.
yeah, so and so there is points that count towards the airdrop, and that is those points are different depending on the rarity that you purchase. So if you buy a good, I think it's is it 1,000? I can't remember. And then if
Uh,
it's sorry.
I can mention the points like if you buy a good land, you get 1,500 points for a good, 2,000 for excellent, and 2,500 for legendary, and both properties count. For example, if you have a land with legendary water and excellent uh, soil quality, then you get 2,000 for the legendary water, 2,500 for the legendary water, and 2,000 for the soil quality, in total for 4,500 points.
Exactly. So yeah, so there's two properties on each land, and that is soil quality and water quality. So yeah, they both count towards toward those points. So very cool. Yeah, it looks like most people are. There's a lot of people still in the different sections. It is still set up for it's still another hour, I believe, before the task the game night comes to an end. So if you're watching this after the stream, you do have another 58 minutes to get in here, fish, and play around on the plot. So I just wanted to let you know. I think now I will, unless you guys have anything else you want to chat about for a little bit. I was going to do the random draw for the Golden Lighthouse because I know that there's a lot of people that will be real excited about seeing how that goes.
Oh yeah, I'm excited to see who gets it.
And I am too. So I will go ahead and do that. 1 second, let me share this.
I have to say, this parkour, it's my first time playing a proper parkour in the game. I'm not a big parkour fan, but I usually do okay. This is not as easy as I thought it would be. So, those pro guys who's used to playing this well, you definitely are shining right now because I have no idea what I'm doing. Just trying to get through the whole thing.
Yeah, it's difficult. Like there's and especially when you're starting off and you're trying to figure out like how to time your jumps and how high up an item is. So I definitely understand the logic there. Let me go ahead and share my screen here. Let this do. Um, there it goes. Sorry about that. And share. All right. So I wanted everyone to be able to see it, and I'm assuming you guys can see it now. So this is, like I said, this will be for the Golden Lighthouse worth 500 Alice. So I am very excited to see who ends up winning this. You won't know immediately because the leaderboard positions might change right now. But when I post the leaderboard results early next week, probably Monday or Tuesday, whatever position this ends up on the leaderboard, will be getting the Golden Lighthouse. So good luck, everyone, and let's see what happens. Dun, 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 dun.
Good luck, everyone.
It is position 34 on the leaderboard. So whoever ends up in position 34, congratulations. It's a really, really awesome item. I don't even have it. I'm a little jelly. So, yeah, that's pretty much the stream, guys. Thank you guys so much for joining me, and thank you, Attila and George, for joining me as well. It's really, really cool.
Pleasure.
there's so much knowledge from you guys, and it's really eye opening, I'm sure, for the community to be able to see everything involved. Um, any last closing comments, or you guys want to chat about anything else before we go out?
Well, I think for me, I just want to, encourage the team. Sorry, not the team, the community again. I think the team has put in a lot of work. I think I shared that during the AMA itself. I think that, and I think I highlighted a lot of little details, which really just, and I think the details, the devil's in the details, right? They say, and the details is where, this is a labor of love. And I think the team has put out a lot of effort talking about providing land rebates, which is not really common in this space, just to encourage people. And this is already a market where the prices are really good, so do take the opportunity, support your favorite devs, support guys like Attila to make great content, more great emotes, and also to come up with more landscaping features for us, so make sure to support the team. I'm definitely doing my part as well. And you're not just supporting them, but you're also getting value, getting resources. You get to expand your creativity, making the land. Just a closing message, because right now what you are playing today is the labor of love of a community member, right? Who spend time getting the resources, because not everything is purchased. A lot of things have to be earned in game, and spent the hours to build a really, really, really complex parkour map. I've played a lot of parkour maps in metaverses. Let me just say that, and I've ran tournaments in them as well. And this is not easy. And I think also shout out to the community member who made this, Jumains, right? I believe.
Yeah, Jumines or
Yeah.
Jimenez, I never know how to pronounce.
No idea. Let us know how to pronounce your name. But shout out to the community member. Make sure to save his plot and visit again, because I think his or her plot, because it is a lot of work. We gotta appreciate the community, and hopefully one day we can see their experiences as templates. Looking at you, Attila, for the rest of us to benefit from the hard work of the community. That's all I gotta say. But I'm actually really impressed, to be honest, of the community's work. I just want to give a shout out to the community on that. Thanks.
Very nice. Thank you, George. Anything from you, Dylan?
Thank you for having me, and I am looking forward to see like what the community builds. As a designer, I really enjoy when we release a feature and see what the community does with it and getting the feedback on it and improving it. Yes, I'm looking forward to see more and more things what players build using our game.
I couldn't agree
Thank
more.
you for
And
the community.
oh, and I just want to say thank you guys for joining us. I know you guys take time out of your schedules and everyone's busy life. This is a worldwide game. It's everywhere. So I know that people are joining from all over, and it's not always at the most opportune schedule. So we really appreciate you choosing to spend your time with us. You do have a voice here at My Neighbor Alice. I see every such idea and suggestion that comes through there, and I just want you to know that personally that we really appreciate everything. This game would not be as great as it is without you guys, and we're going to continue to build. So, um, thank you for joining us for game night number 2 of the New Year's airdrop, and congratulations. Bye,
Congratulations,
guys.
guys. See
Bye.
ya. Bye.